Hey everyone, welcome back to Python Beginner Series. Today we are solving a cool problem, finding the longest binge watching streak on Netflix. So if you have ever lost track of time watching your favorite series, this one's for you. So let's jump right in. So here's a challenge. You are given list of dates when someone has watched Netflix, and our job is to write a Python function to find the longest consecutive binge streak. I hope the problem statement is clear. So let's say you have got these list of dates. These dates are in string format. How do we know? Because they are enclosed in quotations, double quotes. And we have to find the longest consecutive binge streak, which in this case would be from 4th of March till 6th of March, because there are three consecutive days when the person watched Netflix on 4th, 5th, and 6th. So 3 is the answer that I'm looking for. So for solving this problem, we'll apply almost everything that we have learned in this course so far. So we'll have to use conditional statements, the for loop, the functions, and the datetime module, which we recently covered. I recommend that you pause the video and try to solve this problem by yourself. So I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. I hope you all tried to solve this problem. Now let's go ahead and see how we can logically think through the solution of this problem. So here dates are involved, right? So what is the logic that we would apply to find the longest consecutive binge streak? So logic could be probably that I would look at the difference between the two dates in the list. And if the difference is one, like these two are 1 day apart, that means these two are consecutive days. And we can say this is like one streak. So there are two here. The streak count is 2. If you go to the third one now, the difference is 2. 4th of March minus 2nd of March. So difference is 2. So this is not part of this streak. So 2 we can save. And then from here we can reset counting the streak. So 4 and 5, again they are 1 day apart. That means they are consecutive days. So if I start counting from here again, my streak count is 2. 2 consecutive days the person has watched. Then I check for this one. This is again 1 day apart. So the streak count here will increase to 3 plus 1, which will become 3. And then I'll go ahead and check this difference, which is more. So this is my another streak, which is 3 days long. And this last one is just 1 day long. So 2 days, 3 days, and 1 day. I can then take the maximum of this, which is 3 days. So 3 would be my answer. So logically, we are clear how we want to solve it. Now let's see how we can take care of each of the steps involved in solving this problem. So the first thing here would be to take the difference of the two dates, two consecutive items in this list. So how do we take difference? For taking the difference, it would be better if we can convert this string to date object. How can we convert it to date object? We can use date time module for this. So I'll say from date time import the date time class, and then I want to call the function strp time to convert it to the date time object. So if we just pick up one item from this list, this okay, so this takes two arguments, the strp time, strip time. I'm passing one argument only. The first argument it takes is the string that you want to convert to date object. And the second argument it takes is the format of the string. What is the format of the string? We have year, then we have month in this case, month followed by the day. This is my format, and this did the job beautifully. But I have to do it for all the days. That means I have to run it in a loop. Now let's just go ahead and call it date, I think. This output of this, we need to store it in a variable. So we'll create an empty list and append this in that list. So dates dot append is the function. And once we are out of the for loop, let's go ahead and print the dates variable. We have got list in the output, and these are date objects. Next up, what we want to do is, according to the logic that we have decided on, we want to take the difference of the dates. So how do we take these differences? So for that, again, I have to loop over all the items in this watch underscore dates. So I'll say for date in, but I have to basically loop over both the items, like this one also and this one also, because I want to reference both the items, two consecutive items in this list, so that I can do the difference. So instead of doing this, let's just say for I in range 1 till length of this watch, or maybe we can give just dates here, because this is our list that we intend to use. And then we can go ahead and take the difference. So for taking the difference, we'll say dates I plus 1 minus date I. And we need to, so this will give us a time delta object. So we'll just fetch the days from here. So this is going to give us the difference. So let me just go ahead and print it for you to see what the output of this looks like. We are getting an index error. Why is that? Because I'm using I plus 1. So it is giving us list index out of range, because the index of this list will range from, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dates. So index will range from 0 to 5, right? And when I say I plus 1, the last date, which is 5, right? 1 till, basically we are saying 6, so 6 is not included, so it will go on till 5. So when I becomes 5, this becomes 6, I plus 1. That is why we are getting index error. We are going outside of the range. So it's very easy to tackle this actually. Instead of doing I plus 1 minus I, we can do I minus dates I minus 1. So first time around, the value of I is 1 and I minus 1 is 0. So it will subtract this second item from the first item. This is the difference that we are getting. Now we said if the difference is equal to 1, that means this date here comes after this date. They are consecutive dates. So we need to check if they are consecutive dates or not. So if this is equal to 1, that means they are consecutive dates. We can have a counter for the streak. Let's just have a counter for the longest streak also. So a variable where the longest streak we are going to say. I'm assigning it the value 1, and current streak that we are talking about, because we'll be moving this way also. So current streak, I'm also saying 1. So if this is equal to 1, then that means the current streak has to be incremented by 1, because it's a consecutive day. First time around, this and this, the difference is equal to 1. So the current streak will become 2. 2 consecutive days we have found. 2 days, 2 consecutive days, the user or the viewer watched Netflix. 2. But if let's say at any point the date I minus date I minus 1 is not equal to 2, that means these are not consecutive dates. In that case, we want to reset this current streak counter. If this is not true, that means we have to reset the current streak counter to 1 again. Also, once the streak is broken, we don't have the consecutive days on the next day that we are looking at, then we want to update the longest streak here. So what is the longest streak? Longest streak would be maximum of the current value of the longest streak, whatever that is, and the current streak. So we are saying if, let's say, the longest streak value was 2 and the new value of current streak is 3, then we want longest streak to now hold the value 3. This 3 is larger than or greater than 2. But let's say you had the longest streak. So maybe this date was not 8th, but 7th of March. So we would, when we reach this date, right, when we reach I is equal to 5, then I, this right here, let's say this is 7. So this becomes 1. That means this condition is true and the current streak is updated. In- Increase the current streak by 1, which is right, of course. But we don't get to go to this line here and update the longest streak as well. This has to be done outside the for loop as well. And there is a print here, which I need to remove. And now let's see the longest streak value, which is 3. This is what we expected. But wait a minute, didn't we say that we wanted a function? So let's now put it all together inside a function. Let me go ahead and create a function. How do we define a function? Using def keyword. Then the function name. So let's just go ahead and call it streak. And this will take dates as an input, watch dates. And then this has to be done, of course. This has to be properly indented. And then this piece of code we can move down. And if you want, you can just delete all the other code that you have in there. Yeah, some indentation formatting is required. And then this function could go ahead and return the longest streak. And I can go ahead and delete all of this because this is no more required. I've just moved everything to a function. This also, let's just take it down. So yeah, this is our function definition. And now let's say these are the watch dates that I have. I want to call this function. So I'll just call this function. How do we call a function? The function name followed by parentheses by whatever argument the function takes. So watch dates. It's returning 3. That's the answer that we expected. If I change this to 7, it should return 4. Yeah, so it's returning 4. But here I'm assuming certain things, that this watch date is sorted in ascending order. It might not be sorted in ascending order. So we can go ahead and first convert these dates to ascending order. And this should be watch underscore dates. Yeah, because we are referencing it. So it cannot be called dates. It has to be watch underscore date because that's the variable name that we are referencing here. After this is fine because once we have taken our watch dates and converted it to date object, I think all of the other code is fine. I don't know why it was running. If I make it, this is working. Now, let's do this. Let's sort this watch underscore dates because the list might not be sorted. So there is a function for doing that. Sorted is the name of the function. Just give the input, the watch dates, and you can. Okay, but watch dates has these. So can we sort watch dates? What do you think? These are string data types. So we cannot sort it in a meaningful way for this kind of data. So better we sort it after converting it to date object. After this, we should apply sorted. Dates. We can save it back to the dates variable, the sorted list. Because if you just say sorted date, it will not, the sorting would not reflect back to the original list, the dates list. So you have to save it down back to it, reassign it to the variable dates. And I think this is taking care of the edge scenario wherein the list is not sorted. So now if you have another item in here, which is maybe 2025 0307. So this is not a sorted list anymore. And the longest streak should be 4, from 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let's see if we are getting 4 or not. Yes, we are getting 4. What if somebody goes ahead and just pass the empty list? Is our code taking care of that? It's giving me 1, which is incorrect, right? Because I have assigned, initialized this longest streak and current streak to 1. So that is why the longest, it's returning the value 1 for the longest streak. So I need to take care of this scenario also, this edge case also, where if the empty string is passed, I need to say that no dates mentioned or something of the sorts. So I'll say if not watch underscore dates, that means the watch underscore dates is empty. I want to return 0. So as you know, return is always the last statement in a function definition. So as soon as a return is encountered, the control goes back to the calling function. That means we are not going to go ahead and run all these things written after the return. So if it's an empty list that you're passing, this condition will become true and it will just return 0. And that's the correct answer. The longest binge streak is 0 if nothing is passed. That means the person has not uh, watched Netflix on any of the dates. So yes, that's all for this video. I hope you had fun solving this problem. You can try modifying this problem to return the actual dates of the longest streak. So I want you to return the actual dates of the longest streak. Drop your solutions in the comment below. See you in the next one.